today we are going to start next lecture or next chapter of our standard 11 accounts, that is dual effect of transaction and types of accounts. In previous chapter we have already learned the basic terminology of account, and you have to keep memorize and revise and revise and revise. There is no other solution for that particular topic. You need to get that chapter revised as many times as you can. It is a much better thing that it is on YouTube, so you can revise at any time. You need not my personal assistant for that particular thing. If any terminology is confusing you at that particular point, you can put down your notes in a particular book or revise after that particular session is over. So if in this particular lecture, if you got any doubt regarding any terminology, you can revise the previous lecture. Okay. So before learning the types of account and dual effect, we need to learn transaction, types of transaction. There are basically two types of transactions in your textbook. We are starting from page number 25 of your textbook. Type number 1, that is non-economic transaction, and type number 2, that is economic transaction. Already we have learned in OC what does it mean by economic transaction and non-economic transaction. Economic transaction in which money is involved, non-economic transaction in which money is not involved. Now, as given in your textbook, there is two types of economic transaction. First is cash and credit, and second is internal and external transaction. In cash or credit, there are 3 points: cash transaction, credit transaction, and other transactions. In internal and external, there is internal and external. So we are going to learn in detail line by line as given in your textbook from page number 25. So if you have not purchased it, you can open in PDF and learn it before this session. And if you have your textbook, then open it page number 25 and read with me line to line. In page number 25, economic transactions details are given after the particular chart of business transaction. There is a different chart for the business transaction in your textbook, so you can write it like this also and as given in your textbook also. So economic transaction. Only economic transaction of the business are recorded in the books of business. So there is no space for non-economic transaction in business books. So you need not to write any non-economic transaction in your business accounting. Next is those business transactions, the value of which can be measured in money from money form or cash, and where the exchange of money in cash or is to be made immediately or in future is called economic transaction. There is a detailed explanation regarding the economic transaction in which money is involved, or the value of that particular transaction can be valued in terms of money, in the form of money, or the similar kind of particular goods or things, or there might be a particular immediately cash payment, or in future cash payment may be in future, that is credit transaction. All that type of transaction are covered under the economic transaction. Next, there is a last line, the transaction at the present keeping the proposed exchange of money in future, which create a relationship of debtor or creditor, are included in the economic transaction, that are credit transactions. There are two important aspects of economic transaction. First, exchange of cash for asset, goods or services. So there is a 3 types under the cash transaction: exchange of asset, goods or services, and create relationship of debtor and creditor for asset, goods or services. In credit transaction, create relationship of debtor or creditor. For all the three things, goods, assets and services. So I am writing assets, goods and services. All the three particular initial. Okay. So the two main aspects of economic transaction are given here: exchange of cash for asset, goods and services. And next is given creation of relationship, that is for credit transaction. Creation of relationship of debtor and creditor for asset, goods and services. Initials of the above three words. Out of these two conditions, if one condition is fulfilled, out of this particular two conditions, any one condition is fulfilled, the transaction can be measured in terms of money and consequently that transaction becomes economic transactions. The core characteristics of the economic transaction is its value in money. Economic transaction is recorded in the books. Here example is given. Radheshyam is in the business of furniture manufacturing. He purchased goods costing rupees 30,000. This transaction is the transaction of business of Radheshyam. This transaction will be recorded by the Radheshyam in his book. Economic transaction can be classified as mentioned below. All that thing we have discussed right now is given now in your textbook. So one by one you need to read all the points twice, thrice, as many times you can. And you need to revise this particular lecture as many times as you can, because this is the very basic foundation of the accounting. If you are not following this particular lecture, you are not going to be able understand any further chapter that we are going to learn. So cash and credit transaction viewpoint is given here. This transaction takes place in three forms: cash transaction, credit transactions for asset, cash transaction for goods and cash transaction for services. So point number one, cash transaction is explained here under on page number 25, last topic. In this type of transaction, money is paid and received for exchange of asset, goods and services. As we have discussed, money is exchanged for asset, goods and services. Now each and every item, asset, good and services, is explained in particular point, three different points with an example. So it is very much easy to understand. So first, cash transaction for asset. In this category, asset is purchased by payment of money or money is realized by the sale of asset. Example is given: furniture worth rupees 10,000 is purchased for business. Cash paid and asset is purchased. So you need to understand, you need to read the transaction as many times as you can. Furniture worth rupees 10,000 is purchased for the business. This is the transaction. Furniture of rupees 10,000 is purchased for the business. And what is the effect for, what is the useful finding for the business in this particular transaction is given in the bracket. You need to underline the bracket or highlight the bracket. Cash paid and asset purchased. Two effect is given. As you can see, our heading of the chapter, dual effect. So there is a two effect in this particular transaction is given. Cash paid and asset is purchased. Two effect is there. Cash paid and asset is, if you want to purchase a furniture is an asset. As we have discussed the topic asset, you can revise that particular lecture. As furniture is the asset and asset is purchased where, so asset comes in the business, and for purchasing that particular furniture you need to pay cash. So cash is also current asset, as we have discussed earlier in previous lectures. So there is two effect. The scooter, a second example is given: a scooter sold for rupees 40,000. Here there are once more asset is, transaction is there. Scooter sold for rupees 40,000, asset sold and cash received. There are once again dual effect is given. Okay, we are not right now, we are not studying the dual effect, but we need to understand the cash transaction for asset. Either you pay for asset or you receive the money for the asset. That is called the cash transaction. Now for the goods transaction. What is there in your textbook? Goods is purchased in exchange of money, or money is received for sale of goods. Example is given: goods worth rupees 15,000 is purchased in cash. So two effect: goods purchased and cash paid. Second transaction example is given: goods worth rupees 18,000 sold for cash. goods sold and cash received. There are transaction of cash transaction for goods, and last cash transaction for asset is given in your last paragraph of page number 25 of your textbook. That is cash paid for acquired service of or cash received for provided service. For example, salary of rupees 20,000 paid to employee. Employees give services. They are not producing the goods. They are not giving us the goods. They are providing their service, their work to us. So the service is received by us from the employee, and we are paying the cash to employee. Another example is given: brokerage receive of rupees 9,000. Broker provider services. Broker provides services. Okay, brokerage is received. We are in this particular transaction. We are the broker of certain real estate things, and we are receiving that particular brokerage of particular sale transaction. So brokerage is received, and our brokerage services is given to some person. Brokerage services is given to some person, and brokerage amount is received by us. So service is given. We are not providing any goods. We are providing services of brokerage. So that particular transaction for service transaction, for cash transaction for services. So all the example asset, goods and services for cash transaction. Here there is a note on page number 26, starting point of the page number 26. Here there is a note. So what is that particular note is saying? It is very important topic, and you need to memorize it for a lifetime, I can say. Here the meaning of service. Here the meaning of service. So note is given for this particular topic. Here the meaning of service is in the business transaction when the money is paid or received in exchange for the work except physical asset, they are treated as service. Thus, here the meaning of service is different. Here the meaning of service is different. Or we can say all the service class people are covered in this particular category. Now, there is a transaction for receivable and payable. Create relationship of debtor, creditor, receivable and payable for asset, goods and services. So there is a large paragraph is given in your textbook, page number 26. Transaction for receivable, payable. Any amount which is outstanding to pay us for asset, goods or services acquired in the past is known as a payable. I am repeating myself. You need to read it twice. Any amount which is outstanding. I have told you what does it mean by outstanding. Not paid or not received means outstanding. Any amount which is outstanding to pay for asset, goods or services. All the three items I mentioned on the board. Acquired in past is known as payable. So this is the definition of what does it mean by payable. So that is category of creditor. And next, these are paid in present. Any amount which is outstanding. Now that is now underlined for the second term, receivable. Any amount which is outstanding to receive for asset, goods or services provided in the past, called receivable. So if we have provided services in past and now we are receiving the amount, that is our receivable transaction. And if we have taken services in past and now we have to pay, that is payable goods or services or assets. Example is given here. The outstanding payment for rupees 3,000 for the goods purchased from the Ramila is made. The goods worth rupees 4,000 was sold to Rashmi. The outstanding amount is received in cash. So these are the transaction for the transaction creating relationship of debit, credit, asset, goods or services. But that particular transaction are not called credit transaction because cash is received. Already credit transaction incurred in past, as we have discussed. That credit transaction is incurred in past, and now, right now we are receiving the cash or paying the cash. So that's why it is a credit, not a credit transaction and a cash transaction. If in present we are providing goods and services without cash and cash payment is received in future, so right now it is a credit transaction and in future it will be cash transaction. So you need to understand, in this particular category we are learning the cash transaction. So if there is relationship of debtor or creditor created in past, and right now we are receiving or paying the cash, so that is considered as a cash transaction. And note is given instead of cash transaction if transactions are made through check. So it is very much important. Cash does not, here in account, cash does not mean hard cash. It is also considered the bank transaction equivalent to cash transaction. By check, by NEFT, by RTGS or by IMPS, all that electronic transfer of money is also considered under the cash transaction. So I am repeating this particular note. Instead of cash transaction, if a transaction are made through the check, it means by bank. This is also included in the cash transaction. So bank transactions are as equal as cash transaction, and cash and bank transaction are both considered as cash transaction equivalent. Okay. So these are the type of cash transaction. Okay. So next topic is credit transaction. So now we are learning this. We have completed 4 transactions of cash category. That is cash transaction for asset, cash transaction for goods, cash transaction for services, and transaction for receivable and payable. So 4 categories of cash transaction. Now we are going towards the credit transaction. So what does it mean by credit transaction? There is a large paragraph is given here. So we are reading it line by line and understanding the particular point. In this type of transaction, money is not paid immediately. So keep remember this particular line. In this type of transaction, money is not paid immediately for purchase, sales, transaction of assets, goods and services. For any of the 3 transactions, cash is not paid immediately. Okay, next. Money for those purchase or sale is to be paid in future. So this is also important. If money is not paid right now for that particular transaction, so where it is paid? It is paid in future point of time. However, exchange of goods, assets and services made in present. So exchange of goods and services and assets is happening right now, but cash payment or cash receipt is not happening, but it is happening in future. It is not happening in present time. So that is called a credit transaction. From this, the transaction relation of debtor creditor comes into existence. So we can say relation of debtor and creditor comes into existence. If you want to understand debtor and creditor in detail, you need to revise lecture of debtor and creditor in a previous lectures of YouTube. So you need to revise that particular thing. Okay, I am repeating that particular line. From this, the transaction related from this, there is a printing mistake in textbook. From this transaction, the relation of debtor creditor comes into existence. So there is a jumbling of words. It's okay. In brief, purchase and sale of asset, goods or services are made in present, but their money is payable or receivable in future. These transactions are recognized as a credit transaction. So it is the important, you need to underline or highlight this particular line. Purchase and sale of goods and assets and services are made in present, but the money is payable or receivable in future. These transactions are recognized as a credit transaction. You can say this is the definition of credit transaction. Example is given here. Goods worth rupees 4,000 is sold to Kalpana on credit. So sale of goods is happening in present, but it is transaction of credit. It is clearly mentioned in the transaction. So payment will be received in future. Kalpana becomes debtor. Kalpana becomes debtor. If Kalpana is receiving good and not paying the cash, she is becoming a debtor of the business, and business becomes creditor for the Kalpana. Goods worth, the second example is given. Goods worth to be 6,000 purchased from Deepika on credit. Now we are purchasing the goods and not paying money to Deepika. It is very unfair to the Deepika, but what can we do? Deepika becomes creditor of the business. Deepika, if we have purchased the goods from Deepika and not paying the money, it is very unfair, but it is the transaction of credit category, and we are creating the relationship of creditor with Deepika. So Deepika become our creditor, Kalpana become our debtor because we are selling the goods. Deepika become our creditor, we are purchasing the goods. So it is debtor related to sales and creditor related to purchase. So you need to remember these two relationships. If we are selling the goods on credit, the particular person we are selling the goods is become a debtor, and if we are purchasing the goods on credit, the goods we have purchased from the person, that person become creditor for the business. So we need to think from our point of view. What we are from their point of view is look out of that particular person. But if we are selling the goods on credit, the person become debtor. If we are purchasing the goods on credit, we are that particular person become a creditor. We need to remember this particular topic. And last topic of today's lecture is other transaction. We are discussing international transaction in next lecture with illustration also. In next lecture we are solving the illustration of that particular or cash and credit or international whatever transaction category of goods are given in our textbook. So right now we are discussing the other transaction. The transaction that do not fall in above mentioned two types, type 1 or type 2. If the transaction is not of type 1, okay, then check it is of type 2. No, it is not the type 1 and type 2 at all. So it is a type 3 transaction, other transaction. There are, the transaction do not fall in above mentioned two types are special transactions. These are neither cash nor credit. These are special transactions. These transactions are recorded in the books. Say for example, goods destroyed in accident, theft of goods, goods given for donation, goods given for advertisement, assets turned defective or useless. In all these transactions, we are losing some goods or asset, but not receiving money instead against that particular transaction. If you are donating furniture, if you are having furniture business, if you are donating furniture to XYZ temple or religious place, so you are not receiving money in present or in future because that is a transaction of donation. So you are selling goods but not receiving money in present or in future. So if you are receiving money in present, then it is a cash transaction. You are not receiving in present. If money is received in future, credit transaction, you are not receiving money because you have donated the goods. So it is in the category of other transaction. Same as goods theft. Same for fire occurred, destroyed, accident, flood, earthquake, etc., etc. All the natural and man-made calamities happen. This is the category of transaction P, type 3. Okay, so we are completing our first portion of cash and credit transaction. Thank you all.